For whatever reason, I can never open this up on the first go, and I don't know if that's, you know, a sign of my arm strength or lack thereof. Hey, welcome to my video. If you're from my Instagram, I love you, and if you're not from my Instagram, love you all the same. Welcome to another Chit Chat Get Ready With Me video. Today, I'm creating a soft glam summery moment, pause for shock and surprise. And I'm also talking to you a little bit about my life. I'm updating you on some new things going on. So if you love a chill, cozy video, then I think this one might be for you. And if that's the case, then please keep watching. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? I'm actually doing soft glam today, which if you've been on this channel for any amount of time, you know that color is absolutely where I thrive. I love doing colorful eyeshadow looks. But then if you follow my Instagram, you know that I've been doing rainbow makeup pretty much since the beginning of June. So for today, I'm actually, for that reason, craving something a little bit more soft glam for me. And I guess what I mean by that is just brown eyeshadow, sultry, a little bit smoky, maybe some shimmer. I don't know, we'll really see where the wind takes us, but no color today. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just applying a very, very thin layer of the foundation that I'll be using later on my eyes. For this, I normally use a primer, and it's usually the P. Louise primer. However, foundation is completely fine too. So I'm using a ColourPop eyeshadow palette today. We have Lucky Penny. It has a really lovely array of bronzy colors, and that's what I'm feeling. And I'm just taking shade Bouillon on a small detailed brush and sort of creating a winged eyeliner shape. This doesn't really need to be perfect at all because I am going to be smoking it out. Also, today we're going to be talking about some things. I'm doing a life update, believe it or not. I normally really just don't do those, and not for any specific reason. It's just that I don't think my life is all that interesting unless I'm traveling, because when I do travel, that's when there's definitely things to see. But meanwhile, on a daily basis, my life isn't really all that interesting for me to be like updating you about it necessarily, because I really honestly rarely leave the house. Like, I hang out with my boyfriend, but that's about it. Otherwise, I just work and I'm home and that's it. Okay, pause for a second. I'm taking a small detailed fluffy blending brush. This is the Sigma E36, and I'm just sort of blending this out with nothing on the brush, just kind of smoking it out for right now. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I don't really do much except for work, and my work is not interesting at all. I literally am an administrator. And so it's like, what is there to update you about that? You know what I mean? But things have changed now, and so that's why I'm making this update. I actually got a new job, and I am very, very excited about it. And I also believe that it's the kind of job that I'll be talking about more often. Okay, now I'm taking that same brush and dipping into shade Like New, and I'm just gonna smoke that out even more now. Anyway, it really is the kind of job that I feel is super interesting. All the other jobs I've worked at this point kind of were nothing to write home about. For the most part, all I did was work in sales in different stores. And you know, that was fine. Obviously, it's a 9 to 5, you work, you go home. But I personally have always been a much more creative person. And so whenever I worked these other gigs, I would finish up, and there was a time period where I would close the store at like 8 p.m. And I'd literally come home, shower as fast as possible, and then start doing my makeup and creating looks, because that's honestly my zen time and it relaxes me. Anyway, what we also did is took shade Token and just buffed up everything even more, and now I'm just gonna blend with a clean brush. So yeah, I've always loved doing my makeup. I've always loved sharing it online for fun, and I've always loved content creation. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with my current job or any of the jobs that I've ever had. They're obviously jobs, and I'm very lucky to have a job in today's day and age, but I always wished for it to be something more creative. And so when I saw the job listing on Instagram, no less, it sort of really jumped out at me and it spoke to me. And I was like, well, I'll just apply. The worst thing that they can say is no, and I'll move on, and everything will be as it is, right? And so that's literally exactly what I did. And long story short, because it is a long story, I believe I had 3 job interviews with them. Yeah, 2 in person and 1 online, but I got the job. So intermission, because I'm taking a liquid liner right now, and I'm taking one in black. It could be liquid, could be gel, it doesn't matter, but liquid is just what I have on hand. And I'm just creating a tiny, tiny baby wing in black as well, just generally tracing the outline that I already got. And I just wanted to look kind of like that, nothing too dramatic. Moving on, I don't think I actually even told you what the job is yet. Did I not mention that? Yeah, I'll actually be working in social media. I'm going to be a content creator and social media manager for a great firm here, and I start soon. My first day is very soon actually, but it did make me kind of nervous initially, I won't lie. It is kind of scary to put yourself out there, for me just in general, but also I feel like I was comfortable with where I was at already, and I obviously don't like being uncomfortable, but I also think that sometimes you have to be, and I also think that comfortability and being in your own bubble doesn't really allow much room for growth sometimes. So I'm moving on to a new chapter, and I really hope it's gonna be a good one. I will update you more about it because it's the kind of job that I'm excited to talk about, number one. And number two, since it is content creation and just social media, I feel like it'll be interesting to dive into from time to time, obviously. But I will say that that brings me to another point that I want to discuss with you. And it's that, like I said, up until this point, I never really worked in social media. So whenever I got home from work, all I wanted to do was social media. But since at this point, I'm gonna be doing social media as like a 9 to 5, I don't know what that will do with my ability to want to create content for my own social media profiles. And now let's get one thing straight, okay? I am not flaking, I am not disappearing. You will never run me off social media. Honestly, I love it here. So I will obviously still be creating content, honestly, probably forever. But I also don't know if I'll get burnt out at any point at all, or if let's say this, actually, I'm not sure if I'll exhaust all my creative juices at work. Ew, I did not like saying creative juices. Let's never mention it again. But that is kind of the gist of it. Oh, by the way, as you were able to see, I just kind of cleaned up all over my eyes. And now I think I want to add a shimmer too. I'm just not sure which one, but I want to stay in like this little gold vibe. And there are some pretty gold eyeshadows in this palette as well, but I don't know. I'm feeling more of a soft glam gold. Whatever that means, honestly, I'm not sure either. Ooh, you know what would go good with this? Space Cowboy. Hold, please. Okay, here we go. Now I know this isn't really a gold, it's more of a champagne-y shade, but it really is a mood always. Where was I? Oh yeah, creating content for my social media. Honestly, don't get me wrong, I love doing it, mostly because everything I post on all of my platforms is something that I genuinely love doing. For example, Instagram is primarily for makeup, and here I'll just post about whatever. Reading, gaming, makeup as well. Sometimes little cute funny fashion videos. It doesn't matter, but all of it I actually genuinely enjoy doing, commenting, and talking about. And these are hobbies that I do in my life just on a weekly basis anyway. Like, I do my makeup quite often, I read almost every night, or at least I try to. I game a lot as well, and so I can't imagine that it's something that I wouldn't want to do on camera anymore. But I am saying that I don't know how much I'll be able to post, especially for the first, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks to a month, because you know how it is. You need a certain amount of time to get used to a new job. So I don't know how drained I'm gonna be, but this is the type of job where you work partially from home, which love that. You know, I've been working from home for years now, and so I really do love that. But in the beginning, I am gonna be going to the offices every day just to sort of get the hang of things quicker and get a sense of how things operate, etc. And so I am predicting that that's gonna take a lot of my time. I also am gonna make it a priority, obviously, but honestly, don't worry about it. You all can't get rid of me even if you tried. And if nothing else, I will be updating you on my Instagram stories, just because I feel like those are really easy and low effort to do. So we normally have a little kiki on there anyways. Okay, so put on some eyelash serum, cleaned up a little bit just because I had some shimmer on my face that I did not want to put there. And now I'm just gonna apply some mascara. This is the Lash Sensational by Maybelline, and boy, do they not know that I exist. This is not sponsored, nor was it PR or anything of the sort. but I can't tell you how much I love Maybelline mascaras. I've been wearing them since I was literally 15, I believe. And what I love most is just the consistency, because you could buy, I almost guarantee you could buy any Maybelline mascara and it'll be a good, decent mascara, whichever one you pick. And they're also affordable and you can get them at any drugstore, and I just love that. I am using a sort of brown burgundy mascara for this look, not on purpose, although yes, it turns out that it would go great with this. But if you watched one of my last videos, I bought this completely accidentally, and so that's what we're going with now. So anyways, back to what I was saying, I'm really happy, privileged, and excited about the fact that I get to switch careers. Honestly, I really look at it from a standpoint of if not now, then when, since I really don't have a family to provide for at this point. And so I do have that luxury of space and time to figure it out. But also, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. I'll go back to what I was doing before this and I'll be fine. And so I'm really, really happy. Oh, by the way, I'm using the Professional primer and just kind of applying it mostly to my T-zone. I am sort of pressing whatever's left over in my smile lines though as well. If you couldn't tell, we are done with the eyes. That is literally it. And this is for me considered soft glam. And now we're moving on to base. For that, I'm using that one skin tint that I bought whenever I bought this mascara as well. And it's pretty decent and does not really oxidize on me, which honestly hasn't been my experience when it comes to Essence foundations, so I'm pretty pleasantly surprised. I'm blending it in with a sponge now, and I'm gonna try and keep my base light because it is so hot here today that I literally don't want to wear too much makeup because I will melt it all off. Anyways, thank you for allowing me the space to just chit chat with you. I always wonder when you're watching these videos, like, what are you doing? Because I used to love these. I mean, obviously I still do, but I have less time to watch them now than I did when I was young. And honestly, I would always either eat or I do my makeup alongside with the person, and it always felt like a cute little FaceTime call. And so I love that. I honestly think that was my favorite part of YouTube, and I think we should bring old school YouTube back in that sense. So maybe pause this if you don't have anything and go get you a little snack or grab a makeup brush and just start creating little looks with me. What do you think? As usual, I got sidetracked, but that was basically my big life update with the promise of more to come, obviously. Now, let me know if anything new and exciting or just fun is happening in your life. I would love to read about it in the comments. Oh, I forgot to mention that with that update comes another one, and it's that I was supposed to go on vacation with my friend who I travel with all the time. You've seen a glimpse of her in the Copenhagen vlog. Her and I were supposed to go somewhere mid-July. Nothing was set in stone, like we hadn't booked anything yet, but because of the new job, that's not happening anymore. So I'm kind of sad about that. Like I said, I really love her and I love traveling with her. It's always a blast, but I can't very well campaign for a place to hire me, please hire me. And then as soon as they do, I go, okay, see you later, bye, peace. I'm going on vacation immediately. So that's kind of unfortunate, but you know what? There will be so many opportunities. We love traveling together, so it'll be fine. If not earlier, we'll probably go somewhere in the spring again, and I will definitely vlog about that. Okay, so as you're able to see, I'm applying my concealer right now. Now, when it comes to concealer, I apply a lot, okay? And I know it, but legitimately, in person, if you see me and I have no concealer on, you would call me sick, or I would look like somebody who hasn't slept in 3 years. And I really can't help it. It's hereditary, okay? Always had these since I was a child, so they're part of me. What can you do? I do like to wait for my concealer to dry down a little bit before I fully blend it in. I feel like that gives more coverage, so that's what I'm doing. Now I'm just gonna apply some banana powder to that area, and I don't really bake. I sort of set it and then just blend it in immediately. I don't let it sit because I do find that that makes my under eyes really cakey, and that's just not the vibe. Okay, and when it comes to the rest of my face, I'm also gonna set a little bit, just not with that. For whatever reason, I can never open this up on the first go, and I don't know if that's, you know, a sign of my arm strength or lack thereof. And if it is, please say that it isn't. So I'm just applying this to my T-zone. Mostly I'm concentrating it on the center of my face, but it's also the chin that's a dead giveaway, so a little bit here as well. Do you guys remember when we used to just go out like this? Like we wouldn't wear blush or anything, just ghostly white foundation in our dreams. That was a scary time, to be honest. And you know what? I'll say it. I was the first girl who was doing it. I thought it was so cunt. And believe it or not, I really did not like blush when I was younger. And now all I care about is blush. You cannot get me to stop talking about blush. You can't get me to stop purchasing it. I look like a circus clown and I love it. So obviously you know what the next step is. Look at that. Isn't that just so much better? Please. By the way, do you love how I'm applying about a kilogram of blush and yet I'm gonna be at the post office in like 10 minutes? And I go to the post office looking all sorts of crazy. So honestly, those ladies are pretty used to me, but still, you would think that I'd go easy on the blush, and yet here we are. I am certainly not doing that. Did I go overboard? No. I also will be the first one to admit that I do not care about my blush blindness. I know I have it and I don't care about it. I love blush. There you go. I also, semi-recently, I've been doing this for maybe, I don't know, a year. I've been getting into the habit of applying my blush first, bronzer second, just because I feel like there's a much more smooth blend situation going on that way, but I don't know. Obviously it's makeup, do whatever you want. I also love to apply some bronzer on my big forehead to kind of optically trick you into thinking that it's a little smaller than it is. Or if it's not tricking you, you know, that's fine, but it's tricking me and my reflection in the mirror, so that's good enough. I also love cutting the cheek, and so I just take that same little blending brush. Well, actually, this is a little beauty sponge that I use to put the banana powder on my under eyes, and I cut the cheek with it, and then I just melt it into the skin. That eats to me, I don't care. Okay, last step before I move on to the lips. Whatever is left over on the bronzer brush, I just run through my nose a little bit. Sort of like a faux contour situation. It's really quick, but I feel like it does make a difference. And I didn't always used to feel that way, but that's okay. I feel like we can evolve and change. And I'm also taking whatever's left over on the little beauty sponge to just sort of apply that banana powder as a faux highlight situation. And that really looks great in pictures. Ooh, I don't know how I forgot this, but I have to fix the double chin situation. Well, not fix, there's nothing wrong with it. If you have a double chin, work, diva. That just means you enjoy life. But I do like sculpting it a little bit. Okay, last step before the lips, I swear, I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of highlighter. I don't wanna go overboard, but I also love this highlight. It's my absolute fave. Now what we're gonna do is a lips. I found this Zoeva lip pencil that I got, I believe, a year ago in some beauty advent calendar. But anyways, point being, I figured out that this shade goes really well with my current favorite lippy, so we're obviously gonna go with this. Anyways, this is basically it. I don't overline too much. I just do a little something. And recently I've been going in with one of two YSL lipsticks. I really was resisting these for a long while just because they were so viral. And the price, I was like, they're overhyped. I don't know about them, whatever. And then there was a sale and I finally caved and I bought one. That's a lie, I bought two. And now I'm sorry to say I'm obsessed with them. They're super light, they feel like a lip balm, they look great. They have various levels of opacity, so you can just find what you love. And I honestly think that's really fierce. I'm sorry. So anyway, I'm just sort of tapping this on my lips. And sometimes what I like to do is just apply it like this and then apply just a little tiny bit more in the center, and it gives you that just bitten effect, which honestly, I don't know how many people notice that besides me, but I love it, period. Look how pretty. Now I'm just gonna let my hair down and we'll be right back. So here I am. This is soft glam to me. I honestly love this vibe. It feels really so much like me. And I really created exactly what I wanted here today. But I just wanted to thank you for watching. I wanted to thank you for listening to me yap. I know it's definitely not easy sometimes, but if you made it this far, then I dare say you're a beautiful yapper yourself. And thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, then please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, doing all the things, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.